सहनाववतु सहनौ पुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम बोलो स्वामी सद्गुरु शिवानंद महाराज की जय। ओम बोलो स्वामी विष्णु देवानंद महाराज की जय। हरि ओम तत्सत। ओम नमः शिवाय। We are in chapter 2. We have completed till slokam number 35. Now we'll begin from slokam number 36. Avachya vadamscha bahun vadishyanti tavahitaha nindantasva samarthyam tato dukkataram nukim. Arjuna is telling, Krishna is telling Arjuna, Nindantasva, the defame and humiliate. When you run away from this battlefield, Arjuna, Avachya vadamscha, people will start, Bahun means people will start using unkind words, using harsh words. Nindantaha, that defame and humiliate, that will bring defame and humiliation to you. And what could be more painful than that? Tataha, therefore, dukkataram nukim, what else can be more painful than this? So that's a good question that Krishna is asking. That humiliation and that defame, and by using the harsh words, and what could be more painful than that? Slokam number 37. Hato va prapsyasi swargam jitva va bhokshyase mahim tasmat uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nischayaha. Kaunteya, Kunti's son, O Arjuna, only two things are possible. If you fight, when you lose, when you die in the battlefield, you go to Swarga. Swarga doors are open for you. If you gain victory, Jitva, when you gain victory, and you will enjoy the kingdom and the pleasures of kingdom. Only these two things are going to happen. Be prepared to face both. Tasmat, therefore, Uttishta, arise, Kaunteya, wake up, get up. Yuddhaya krita nischayaha. Yuddhaya krita nischayaha. Nischayaha means krita nischayaha, to do. Krita nischayaha, with determination, do fight. Yuddhaya krita nischayaha, with determination, fight, arise, get up. Slokam number 38. Sukha dukke same kritva labha labhau jaya jayau tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papamavapsyasi. Sukha dukkha same kritva, take the sukham and dukkham in a balanced way, in a with composure. Be balanced at all times. Now you know the law of universe. Joy and sorrow will come, plain and labha, alabha will come, jaya, ajaya, success and failure will come at all circumstances. Keep balance. Therefore, enter the field of battlefield, face the challenges. No point in sitting down, disappointed, dejected. When you sit down and do all this, more sorrow will come to you. So uncompromisingly fight in the battlefield. You will never create mental anxiety. Naiva papamavapsyasi. The papam will not come to you. If the mind is disturbed all the time, then the right thinking is not possible. So have that balance. This is the law of universe. The life is a mixture of both. The life is mixture of sukha dukkha, jaya ajaya, labha alabha, which means joys and sorrows, victory and defeat, pleasure and pain. All these are, life is mixture of both. There is nobody who will be seeing success all the time in life. There will be nobody who will see all the time failures. The life will take both. You need to measure the life in totality. So don't live like others. Live to the fullest, uncompromisingly. Fight, get up. Slokam number 39. एषा ते विहिता सांख्ये बुद्धिर्योगे त्विमां शृणु बुद्ध्या युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्मबन्धं प्रहास्यसि. एषा ते विहिता सांख्ये. So far from 11th sloka to here, Krishna is talking from the highest point of view. So up till 25 slokas he was talking from the highest point of view, explaining the law of universe. And from 26 to 38 slokas, Krishna was getting one step down and he was explaining Sankhya. Sankhya means the highest philosophy, knowledge, analytical knowledge. So Krishna was explaining with analytical way to Arjuna. Now Vyasa Maharishi is introducing a new concept, Buddhi Yoga. In no Veda, in Vedanta, or no rishis have coined this word Buddhi Yoga. It's only Vyasa Maharishi who has coined this word Buddhi Yoga. It's new. There are about 82 yogas in Hindu mythology. Yoga means you yoke your attention with the higher. Yoga doesn't mean that just only twisting the body or doing the pranayama. Pranayama and asana is one of the yoga, and that practice of this pranayama and asana will uplift your mind, and that will make your body fit. That's one of the kind. That is not the only yoga. There are 82 yogas in Hindu mythology, and all of them are lifting your mind from lower consciousness to higher consciousness. In all these 82 yogas, the no rishis have used this word Buddhi Yoga, and it's only Vyasa Maharishi who is using that word Buddhi Yoga. Now, so far we've been discussing Sankhya method, intellectual process. When Vyasa used this Buddhi Yoga, now Krishna is telling it is equal to Karma Yoga. It is similar to Karma Yoga, nothing about that. But in Karma Yoga, there are some rituals. So Arjuna may relate that Karma Yoga with that rituals. So in order to bring a new terminology, the Vyasa Maharishi has coined this word Buddhi Yoga. So now Krishna is telling, listen to me, Arjuna. Listening is not hearing. Hearing is the function of the ears. You cannot stop from hearing. Many things come to your ears and it goes out. Listening is with entire attention. Now Krishna is telling, listen to me, Shruno. Listen to me, Arjuna. Try to grasp whatever that I am going to say and register it in your memory for future use. Listening is much more dynamic and active. So you need to be really alert and vigilant, Arjuna. You have to eliminate everything else from your mind. Your mind have to be alert and vigilant, and it should be ready to observe. Take it through your buddhi, so that the thought that which arise tomorrow, that will have the fragrance of this, whatever that I am going to tell you, whatever that new learning that you are going to have now. Of late, what we are seeing in the modern days, there are only instructions. There are only institutions. The teacher means the teacher have to educate and transmute the knowledge. Today's modern world, the teachers are also not like that, the students are also not like that. In the colleges or in the schools, the students go and they keep eating something, they're munching something, they are chewing or they are playing, and the attention span, the concentration is not there, and the teachers are also giving only instructions. So only institutions are getting now formed, only the instructions are happening, but actually the teaching, the education means the student have to integrate the entire total mind so that it is concentrated, and that intellect becomes your brilliant instrument. If you allow your mind to wander, then you keep hearing something, then you will only be you will only become dull. You can't understand. So you also will go and sit there. Your mind will be fancying on something. It will be wandering. Vaguely you will be alive in that session. What happens? Your mind will be far away, but you will be sitting there wandering. The intellectual becomes dull. And after coming out, what do you say? You blame God. Oh my God, I don't understand anything. My mind is dull. I don't have that intelligence to understand. No, God has given everybody that intellectual. Everybody has that. All that we need to do is to collect that mind, and instead of hearing, we should start listening. And now Krishna is telling Arjuna to listen. Only then karma bandhan prahastasi, you will get relieved from the old vasanas, Arjuna. Otherwise you will only be thinking through the old vasanas. Your mind will be wandering. Collect your mind and integrate with complete involvement. Listen to what I am going to talk about, the Buddhi Yoga, which is the art of living. Till now you don't have any goal, Arjuna. You just come and you be bumping and doing anything. You didn't have any goal. Now this Buddhi Yoga, this art of living, will help you to get into that. Slokam number 40. Neha Bikramana Sosti Pratyavayo na vidyate Swalpamapyasya dharmasya Trayate mahato bhayat. We know this Buddhi Yoga is similar to Karma Yoga. We know what is Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is doing an action without anything in expectation, treating that you are doing to the God, so utmost purity is maintained in your action. That is Karma Yoga, without expecting anything in return, totally doing it for the God and thinking the God, the divine that is existing in me is that same divine existing in the other being. This Karma Yoga, in true, it's Karma Yoga is, we have seen this in Vedanta. It has got, in true meaning, in this Karma Yoga, there are two main defects. Defects in the sense, two dangers. You need to take precautions when you do this Karma Yoga. What are those two? When you carry out a ritual, when you do a Karma Yoga, when you are carrying a ritual, you might have seen you might have seen a Pandit doing a yajna. When a Pandit is going to sit and do a yajna, you would have observed he will follow certain sequence. The sequence under which the entire rituals have to be followed. That Pandit, that Sastrigal, do not have the freedom to neglect the sequence. The sequence have to continuously followed in any ritual that needs to be done by the Pandit. For example, if you wanted to look take an example of our own daily routine. For example, if you want to make a sambar, there is a sequence with which the sambar have to be made. That sequence have to be followed. For example, the sambar, you need to put this vegetable, you need to add salt, you need to make this sambar paste or sambar powder, and you need to boil it. And this, if you neglect the sequence, and if you put this vegetable at the end, what will happen? Your sambar will become a chaos. If you put that sambar paste or sambar mixture at the end, your sambar will not give the desired result. For example, if you want to make an omelette, first what you need to do, you need to break the egg and then follow the sequence. And if you neglect breaking the egg, and if you are going to do the omelette, what will happen? The end result, that will not be an omelette. There will be a chaos, right? So there is a krama. Krama means sequence. For every action in our life, in our day-to-day activities, for every action, there is a krama. Krama means sequence. There is a sequence with which the entire activity have to be carried out. If you miss that sequence, krama nasa, if you are not following the sequence, then the result will not be to your desired way. The final result is always based on the sequence that you strictly follow in the activity, right? Not following that will abhikramanasa, the not following that karma yoga in the true aspect will bring you not the desired result. What is the second danger? Pratyavayo. Not only it will not give you the result if you don't follow the sequence, it can also rebound upon you. Instead of bringing you happiness, it can bring you sorrow, it can bring you disturbances, it can bring you unpleasantness, right? For example, we buy an equipment from the shop, and when you assemble this equipment, there is a booklet, there is an instruction booklet that is being given. So you follow that instruction step by step. Okay. So there is step number 1, you unpack, you take the equipment out. Step 2, assemble this. Step 3, do this. Step 4, do this. You are following all the steps. And step number 8, they say, there is there will be 2 wire there. There is a blue wire, there is a red wire. Connect this red wire and the blue wire. Now you see, you in your hand you see 3 wires. You don't 3 wires on the hand, and you don't see a blue wire at all. There are only, both of them are 2 red wires. So now you use your intelligence. Okay, I know now, I have followed all the 7 steps. Now I know what to do. Analytically thinking, only these 2 have to be connected. So I know now, I can judge. I can use my own intelligence. I know what to do. Connect those 2 red wire. What happens? The entire equipment bursts. When the entire equipment bursts, it not only creates the damage to you, it also creates the damage to the people around. For example, when it bursts, some parts of the equipment will jump and fall at the other place. It might create noise. People from the neighborhood, they will come. All these, when you do not follow the sequence, not only the desired result will not come, pratyavayo, the unpleasant result also might come. That is why when the rituals are performed in the Vedic terminology, the Pandit will not miss a sequence, will not use their freedom when doing the yajna. They will strictly follow what is said in the Veda. Right? Even if you want one more example, even that we can take is the electricity. Electricity is around us. When the electrician when he connects, he will have to strictly follow the sequence. If he miss a single sequence, result, we know what will happen with the electricity if the sequence is not followed. Right? So therefore, these 2 precautionary steps are to be taken in Karma Yoga. Okay, one is you need to follow the sequence. The other one is if you do not follow the sequence, pratyavayo, it can counter you, it can rebound you with calamity. Right? So, Swalpamapyasya, in this Buddhi Yoga, what I'm going to tell you on this Buddhi Yoga, Swalpamapyasya, even if you do little, Trayate Mahateo Bhuyat, you will be lifted up. Even if you follow little bit of this Buddhi Yoga, you will be lifted from fear, the fear to die, the fear to exist, the fear of not fulfilling your desires, the fear of facing the sorrow, the fear of expecting something in return. All these will come down and you will be lifted up. Even Swalpamapyasya, even if you do little of this Buddhi Yoga. So, give your intense attention. So, listen, just not hear, listen. Slokam number 41. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi ekeha kuru nandana bahushakaha nantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. So you can ask me, how it changed my personality? Following and sitting before the teacher, sitting before the God and doing something, how it can change my personality? Vyavasatmika buddhi. When a work is done with the ideal, with a goal, with the intelligence, with complete intelligence, then that intelligence becomes integrated. Your mind is integrated. When that integration happens, that integrated intelligence has much more effect than the intellect itself. Okay, if your mind is ordinarily, if a mind is shattered and it is fancying, it is going away, then you're getting with a work, then the desired result is not possible, right? So we can give this also an example. In my childhood, I have practiced this, or I have observed this. You take a paper. Many of you also can relate with what I'm going to say. You can take a paper and you can bring a lens, and with intense focus of sunlight on a particular spot in that paper, keeping it steady, that paper starts burning. In childhood, we used to play with this. What is happening here? The integrated intelligence. Your intellect is not brought into a focus point, then you will only have dull mind, Arjuna. You will only, if your mind is shattered, million thoughts will come into your mind. That is because you don't have an ideal. You don't have a goal. In the West, people say the genius is born, but our scripture says genius is made. You can enter your intellect, you can collectively, intensely integrate with the same thought. Then there will certainly be phenomenal progress. God will not integrate. You have to sit and integrate your mind to that one-pointedness, to that relentless approach to the goal without being shattered. Bahushaka means, shaka means branches, bahu means many. If your mind is shattered with endless branches, many thoughts will come. Then the result, there won't be any result. They only keeps passing by. No thought just like that can bring you that result. Intense integration should have to happen to that thought. The entire vitality have to be brought in. That is Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga is nothing but Karma Yoga. In Vedic tradition, Karma Yoga means the rituals. Buddhi Yoga also carrying out the same rituals. If you use the same word, Arjuna might confuse. So Vyasa is coining a new word and bringing a new concept. Yudhya Yushavastha. No desire for gratification can or expecting applause for an action, no gratification for an action. Karma Yoga is teaching us not to expect anything in return. Buddhi Yoga also the same, not expecting anything in return, but with an integrated approach. The mind is not shattered. The mind is not fancying out with a single pointed, uncompromisingly thinking about the same thing. Collect, integrate your thought into it. Okay, Vyavasatmika Buddhi. It's called when you have an idol and your entire intellect without any compromise, you are ready to face the challenges, then Vyavasatmika Buddhi. That Buddhi will help you to get aligned with your goal. When that mind and intellect are aligned, that becomes a greatest equipment for your single pointedness. All great achievements are done in this material world, in the political world, in the scientific world, in the spiritual world, any field you take, political field, scientific field, spiritual field, any field you take, you need to integrate and you need to collect. Without, the mind is wandering everywhere. Thus, when you learn that art of living, that Buddhi Yoga, with your conviction on that idol, without any compromise, that mind becomes Ekeha Kurunandana. That mind becomes one-pointed. There is nothing that is not possible in this world with that single one-pointed attitude. If a CEO of an organization, if you look at him closely, he would be continuously thinking about how to bring more profit, how to satisfy his investors so that my investors will bring more money to me. When they invest more money on my company, I will improve my business. He will all the time be thinking only that. If you watch a CEO of an organization, you can appreciate that fact. Only that mind can get you the desired result. If your mind is disintegrated mind is a animal's mind, Bahushaka. If your mind is wandering, million thoughts come to you, then you will not achieve anything. Many people also may relate to what I'm going to say now. You go and sit to do one project, 10 other projects come to your mind. Then you're branching out all your attention to all the 10 other. What will happen? All the 11 will collapse. Not even this also will bring you the desired result. We can observe this in the river also. Meandering river that never reached the ocean. When gorgeous river dashing itself with plenty of water serving both the banks, the river ultimately reaches the ocean. From the nature also we can learn this. Your own intention should be constantly with that goal. Bahushaka, with mind, if your mind is wandering, will not be able to achieve that desired result. So he is going to talk, Krishna is going to talk little more on this Buddhi Yoga in the coming verses, helping Arjuna to get into the collected, integrated thought to fight and win. With this, we'll come to an end. Keeping your back straight, eyes closed. Krishna is advising Arjuna from the highest point of view and coming few notches down, explaining the day-to-day activities, relating to him. And now Vyasa has coined a new word, Buddhi Yoga, and explaining Arjuna to listen intensely. We'll chant Om 3 times. Om Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bolo Swami Sadguru Shivananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Bolo Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. Thanks for joining. Have a beautiful evening. See you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Thank you.